The following is a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and entertainment in Fairfield and Westchester counties.
From the Rinks at Shelton, it's high school hockey on the HAN Network. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rob Adams. Today, we go out of conference, out of the FCAC. The FCAC presents the Trumbull Eagles, but the SWC-SCC brings the Masuk Panthers. Both these teams call this rink home, and we've got them here on this Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Civil Rights Day in 2016 here on the HAN Network. Great crew on hand today. John Kovach alongside of me for the call, and ice side are both Frank Granito and Donald Eng. AJ Simonowski will direct this broadcast as we come to you from the Rinks at Shelton, and we look at the Eagles coming in with a record of 3-3-2, while the Masuk Panthers at 3-4 to start the season. And John, a good afternoon to you. You know, a couple of teams that are scuffling, but I think when all is said and done, you've got a chance for a good matchup here today.
They're teams that got off to decent starts, Rob. Masuk, which is in Division III of the SWC-SCC Hockey Super Conference that combines the Southwest Conference and the Southern Connecticut Conference. Masuk started the season 2-0, won 3 of their last 4, but they come into today on a 3-game losing streak. Their latest loss, which was Saturday to Brantford, that's the most lopsided of the season, 9-1. They gave up 4 goals in the first, 5 in the third. An odd breakdown, I thought. I thought that unusual.
I agree with that. Yes, absolutely an odd breakdown.
Trumbull, they're in a tie for third in the FCAC West, 1-1 in the conference, 3-3-2 overall. They come in having lost 3 of their last 4 after alternating wins and ties to start the season. So you've got 2 teams that showed promise early on and have kind of struggled in these weeks immediately after the holiday break.
The guys down at ice side, let's make sure we say hello to them as well. We'll start with Frank Granito. Frank, good afternoon.
How are you doing, Rob? John, thanks for having me here. Guys, I think the biggest thing today is that this is really anyone's game. We'll have scores earlier, but we've seen a couple upsets already in the state today. There's only one unbeaten team left in all 3 divisions. This is a D2 versus D3 matchup. It really feels like any team can beat anyone on any given day right now.
Frank, thank you very much. And working the Masuk side today, and happens to be the editor of the Monroe Courier, here's Donald Eng. Don, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Rob. I was talking to Masuk coach Andy Townsend before the game, and he said, I asked him about that 9-1 loss to Brantford, coming off their 3-1 win over Brantford, and he just simply said that it's sort of to be expected. A very young team, only 4 returning players that got any kind of varsity ice time last year, and so he expects an up and down season, and certainly he's gotten that so far.
Don, thank you very much. We'll check in with the guys throughout the afternoon. Now, one thing to know, and we've mentioned this when we've worked at the Darien Ice Rink, and there are some other places, hockey rinks, again, are not built for high school broadcasts. They really aren't. Very few of them are up to those standards. Terry Connor's rink is one that comes to mind for sure, and a few others. Of course, the good people over at the Edward L. Bennett rink, that's a wonderful place to work. This is different. This is just a different perspective for us. It's a great rink. Howard and everybody here at the rink couldn't be more accommodating to us, but it's still, for us, this is our first time in here shooting a game. We did radio here a few years ago. John Kovach, Josh Fisher, and I called, I believe it was St. Joe's New Canaan, if my memory is serving.
I believe you are correct, Rob.
And so, it's still kind of a learning process. So this is the perspective for today. We are shooting it from Howard's office, in fact, and as Wednesday, when we were back here for Darien St. Joe's, you might see us at a different angle. So just a little bookkeeping for you, so you got a perspective as to what it is we do here.
It's an interesting place to watch a game because we've got the lengthwise perspective, but then we've also got a wonderful perspective of the near goal, where I recall in that New Canaan St. Joe's game that we did radio only a couple years ago, there being a puck that just missed going in and being able to look down the line and see it not cross with my own eyes, which was just a great vantage point to have for that particular play.
We have one game that we were going to keep a very firm eye on today. And look, I'm happy we're here. I'm happy we're seeing schools that we haven't seen on the ice. We haven't seen a lot of Masuk yet. We haven't seen a lot of Trumbull on the ice, so I'm glad we're here. But, of course, the game of the day, many would say, is that Greenwich-Darien matchup down the line at the Dorothy Hamill rink. And it brings to mind a couple of points. First of all, the score itself. Greenwich is going to start the second period of that game on a power play for 1:22. Our good buddy Paul Silverfarb tweeting that out. It is a scoreless game otherwise. It's arguably 1 versus 2 or 3 in the state, depending on your flavor. We would love to be there seeing that game as well. Prohibitive because, well, we can't get what we need. There are certain firmware aspects of what we need, and in this case, the infrastructure, there's the word I'm looking for, not quite, we don't have access to the internet, bottom line.
That's it, and without internet access and power, we've said this before, when people have asked, how come you don't do this game, that game, more so with the outdoor sports. And I remember the two of us running around Wilton trying to see if we could tap into a light pole for power.
For a girls' hockey game, or girls' soccer game.
Try making calls to an electrical contractor to see if we could tap into a light pole for power.
That was frustrating, yep.
Indoors, we like to avoid that, but there's certain places that it just doesn't happen.
So that's why we are not there, if you are wondering. But again, to take nothing away from this game, we are very happy to be here. We are going to get ready to get this one started, in fact, as it is the Panthers of Masuk taking on the Eagles of Trumbull High School. High school hockey coming up. As I said, AJ Simonowski tickling the controls a few feet away from where I am, and we'll get it going right here on the HAN Network right after this.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Well, there's still a bite out on the water. Most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Denali is your outdoor retail destination in the Westfield Trumbull Mall. For the last 21 years, we have carefully selected clothing, footwear, and gear from a variety of the best outdoor brands, such as the North Face, Patagonia, Vineyard Vines, UGG, Merrell, GoPro, New Balance, and many more. Our stores have a friendly, knowledgeable staff to help you with all of your running, hiking, and cold weather needs, and in discovering all things outdoorsy and awesome. Visit us in the Westfield Trumbull Mall or online at DenaliOutdoor.com.
Darien Sport Shop is a unique store because it's a family store. A busy mom can come in with kids in tow and find everything she needs for them, and even find a dress for herself for Saturday night. And if she's in a rush, she can simply go home and order it from us that night. We'll deliver it the next day. The Darien Sport Shop. We're pretty on the outside and amazing on the inside. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
Find over 1,000 special stories at Hospital for Special Surgery. Go to hss.edu/backinthegame.
I was jogging 5 months after my cartilage tear.
Skiing a year after hip surgery.
And playing grandma 4 weeks after hip replacement.
One special hospital, 1,000 special stories. See Connecticut patients at hss.edu/CT.
Hi, I'm Rob Adams with my good friend Donald Eng, and we're the home team for Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 o'clock right here on the HAN Network. We are the place for all things Connecticut sports, so come hang out with us on Nutmeg Sports. Don? They don't call him the best color man in the game for nothing. Nutmeg Sports, 2 o'clock, Monday through Wednesday, right here on the HAN Network.
It's the new year. The to-do list is long and it's easy to feel pulled in many directions at once. Your professional, personal shoppers at Walter Stewart's are ready to check groceries off your list by shopping for you. Save extra time this year and spend it doing more important things. Great food and wine delivered to your home with the same-day service. Shop Stewart's online at stewartsmarket.com.
If you're down. Back here at the Rinks at Shelton with John Kovach, Frank Granito, Donald Eng. I'm Rob Adams. Let's introduce the starting lineups. For the Trumbull Eagles, they are the visitors here. They put Jacob Leibowitz and Dustin Mayer on defense. Up front, it is Matt Moker, Eric McCabe, and John Terrio. And in net, it's Will Gutman. For the Masuk Panthers, they put on defense Blake Cleland and Will Ferraro. Adam Montague centers the top line with Elijah Bagan on the right wing and Brian Denham on the left wing. In net is Tag Wise. And we are just about ready to get it going. The Eagles wearing the road jerseys, the road sweaters. It is the black with the gold outlined in white, the block style, the T on the shoulder. And the uniform number's a little further down on the sleeve as well. They've got an eagle on the front of the sweater. Masuk in a slight arch on the other side. It's a red on a white field outlined in black. Red up on the shoulders, white on the numbers. And with all that said and done, let's get it going from the Rinks at Shelton. Good to be with you on this Monday afternoon and in the opening faceoff, controlled by the Trumbull Eagles, coached by Greg Maxey. On the other side, for the Masuk Panthers, they are coached by Andy Townsend, as we mentioned in the opening, and both these coaches also do some coaching of youth teams here at the Rinks at Shelton as well. Just 20 seconds gone by, and the puck taken back behind the net of Will Gutman. So starting out is Dustin Mayer. It's kind of a bottom-to-top view, much like the Darien Ice Rink, except we can give you a little bit of a left-to-right here. Hit up along the boards came from Elijah Bagan as we are just underway. 40 seconds gone by. No score in the opening stanza in Shelton. Left behind. Here come the Panthers across the line. Wristed, deflected, off a body. It went off of Leibowitz. Comes over into the corner off that shot from Brian Denham. Back behind the net now. Goes into the right corner. No score. Matt Moker coming along for the Eagles. To the near side now. Leibowitz looking to hit the tape of somebody. Instead, has to handle it himself. Gets it near the point and has it pushed back the other way. Sent down by Denham. No score. A minute change gone by in the opening frame in Shelton. Cross ice pass. They get it out of the zone with Moker. Moker just touches ahead. Instead, it's taken by TJ Scalia for the Masuk Panthers. Brought back down the other side into the right circle, deflected off the body of Sam Gutman, the defenseman and one of the captains for the Eagles, as it comes over near side, put on net and covered by Gutman. 13:29 remaining in the first, no score.
Rob, just a couple of scores here. New Canaan coming off that loss to the Fairfield Co-op and early struggles. Tyler Hill scores 4, and the Rams beat Xavier 5-1 this afternoon. Back to you.
Hard to explain. You know, John, you just can't explain hockey as it goes over along the left side boards, heading back behind the net. Down there to play it goes Scalia for the Panthers in a scoreless game, held in at the left point by Sam Gutman, sent down the left wing and back to the point again for a slap shot that gets redirected and heads off into the left circle. No harm done. Comes back to that same left point, backhanded along the boards by Gutman with 2 minutes gone in the first and no score. Now here come the Panthers. They get across the line, sent on net, and it gets sent back the other way, turned right back around by Sam Gutman. Gutman sends it out to center, and now it's grabbed once again by Gutman, and he'll rifle it down into the Masuk zone. No score as it goes through the left circle into the left corner now, and the Panthers will take it away. They'll start back. It's kind of a modified right to left for the Panthers as they work it through the right circle. From our perspective, that is. For you, perhaps, if you're in the crowd, then it's left to right, right to left. A sparse but, well, hearty crowd on this holiday, brought around to the near side boards. Busy here earlier, big public skate, big turnover, out in front trying to lift it, and it comes over to the near side. Dustin Mayer playing it on that near side. Now a check right down below our perspective. That was Montague along for the Panthers, who have the better of it early on. Bagan at the bottom of the left circle, and it's sent back out of the zone, so they'll go touch up. Down into the right corner now, Leibowitz will take it back behind the net with 3 and change gone in the first of a scoreless game. Taking a look, they'll bring it around. It'll ride the boards to the near side, grabbed by Mayer. Mayer has it taken away from him by Denham. Denham in the circle. Oh, thrown through. Good chance, but Bagan couldn't get the stick on it. So they'll spin it around, send it all the way out. Sometimes you got a good icing. I think this is one right here with 11:34 to go in the first.
Masuk keeping the pressure on, though not getting quality chances early in this first period. I think you're right. I think it's a good icing just to let Trumbull regroup and reset the defense.
Following a couple of tweets from the Darien Times as well. And it looks like things staying close in that one down at the Dorothy Hamill rink. Greenwich and Darien will keep an eye on it. Off the face-off, it comes back out with John Terrio, gets across the line, backhands it across, down into the right corner it goes. It'll be taken in that right corner. Now at the bottom of the right circle, they'll work it back around, coming out the other way as it bounces off the glass. They'll keep it in at the left point with Moker. 11's remaining as number 11 was the one last to touch it. Along the near side boards, it's pushed right back down, but the Panthers able to get it out of the zone. The Panthers have that logo that's kind of like the Washington State Cougars, John. You know that look as it's put on net and held on to at the other end.
Exactly like the Washington State Cougars, Rob. The cat growling. It's a nice logo. I've always liked it.
Yep, that kind of, as you said, the cat growling, but it turns into the letters of the school.
Very well done. It's a great graphic design.
It really is. And if you've ever seen that Washington State, that WSC that all comes together in one shot, it's really cool. So off the face-off, this will trickle back into the Trumbull zone. Will Gutman waiting in his net, but he won't need to touch it. Jacob Leibowitz, his defenseman, throws it back to center. And waiting there is Brady Jensen to send it down the line. Into the right circle, sends it wide. It goes around into the left corner as we come up on the 10.5 mark remaining in the first period here in Shelton. It was a long trip here from the studio today. I don't know if I could handle that drive, John.
You turn your clock ahead or back or whatever you had to do?
I did whatever needed to be done. Here's Jensen out of his own zone. Gets across the Masuk line. Heads toward the slot. Lost it for a moment. Gets it back. Backhands it along the near side boards. Now he'll leave it behind. Leibowitz at the point. Sent all the way across into the corner. It'll be redirected by Masuk. Casey Bowler gets it out of his own zone as it bounces down, icing waved off as it comes back off into the left corner. Goes behind the net there, waiting with 9:55 to go in the first. This is untouched, down it goes. Icing will be whistled with 9:50 to play, first period.
Not sure that was as good an icing as the first one. I think that was just a little impatience there.
And I think it was not an intentional icing, where that other one was absolutely intentional.
No question. Still no score, Rob. That game we're following at the Dorothy Hamill rink, Darien and Greenwich. Norwalk McMahon with a 1-0 lead over Wilton early second period.
Off the face-off, it goes in the net, and that was not the intention. But, boy, sometimes you throw it on net and good things happen. Masuk will take the 1-0 lead, and I believe Denham will get the goal.
Right off the face-off, just fires it in. That's the downside to the icing. Puck comes all the way back to your goalie's side.
And I think that's just one of those things where he was screened. So it'll come at 5:14 of the first, and it's 1-0. We'll get the particulars from the Gentleman Ice side as soon as they've got it. So Masuk, a 1-0 lead early on. Sent back out through the neutral zone. Cross the line, down the right wing goes Moker. Moker for Trumbull. So Denham does get the goal. And Montague gets the assist. It comes at 5:14. Again, a puck loose and a stick loose as it comes over near side behind the net of Gutman. Trumbull seems a little out of sorts right now.
Very. They don't seem to be skating with sense of urgency.
And my goodness, what a save made by Gutman, who's finally able to cover. John, did you see that?
I did. I don't know that Gutman did. Gutman has been having trouble finding the puck on that whole approach, that whole
that was amazing, guys. From my
there.
perspective, the Masuk bench just erupted and then turned to each other in disbelief to say, how did that not go in?
I'm not sure myself, Don.
Off the face-off to the right side of Gutman. 8:50 to go in the first. 1-0. Masuk on top. Yes, Masuk the home team here today as it's turned back at the right point. Now taken out of the zone. Leibowitz initially, but they'll bring it back the other way with Cleveland. Cleveland sends it down the right wing, goes behind the net in 1-0 game with 8:35 to go in the first. A second try out in front and able to make the save was Gutman. But waiting there was Colin Raymond for the Panthers. Across the line, it'll be Cleveland to go back and play it in his own zone, trying to play keep away, gets it back to the left boards, and it comes back out. Waiting there is Mayer. Mayer takes a look to his right, and it goes across the line and down into the right corner. Coming down to 8 minutes to go in the first period, a 1-0 lead on almost an excuse-me goal by Denham at 5:14. Montague the assist. Indeed, 8 minutes remaining in the first period. Glad you're along with us on this Monday on the HAN Network. Turnover in the left circle, taken by the Eagles initially. Here's the blast from the left point, looking to corral it. It's loose, now over into the right circle. Unable to do anything with it was Wise. It's now in the left circle, throwing it back on net, and comes over to the right wing boards. Played by the Eagles. They'll throw it down on net with 7.5 to go in the opening frame. Sent all the way down. This should be an icing, allowing me to once again remind you this is a little bit of a different perspective as you're looking at it today, shooting out the window, through the nets, over the river and through the woods, and Grandma's house is somewhere out there as well. It's just a little bit of a different setup today. We'll be back here on Wednesday, and we'll have probably a different perspective by the time we're back for Darien and St. Joe's Wednesday afternoon. 7.5 to go in the first. Off the face-off, held in by the Eagles, who are trying to create a little pressure, but not the case here. Offside's the call. Frank, we haven't heard from you in a few. What's going on?
So it was Denham on the goal, Montague the assist. Montague won the drawback, and Denham's shot was deflected in front. It looked like Gutman lost sight of it. It ricocheted and knuckled in over his shoulder there. This is a young Trumbull team, only one senior on the roster. They've looked a little lost in their own zone, but that last shift before that whistle was a good one to get a little momentum going back their way.
All right, Frank, thank you very much. Played down in the Masuk zone where Trumbull's trying to create a little more pressure. Bringing it back through the neutral zone now are the Panthers, moving from right to left as they head down toward the corner, and it'll be McCabe to take it back. Brings it cross ice. Snagged by Lucas Leibowitz, wearing number 5. As this will come down into the right corner in the Trumbull zone. So back behind Gutman's net. Spin it around once again. Back there is Gutman for the Eagles, but turned over. Masuk staying aggressive with Elijah Bagan. Bagan along the left boards, just kind of bounces down on net, got loose for a moment, but spun around by Gutman and sent along the right side board. 6.5 to go in the first period of a 1-0 game. Again, to those far boards, trying to get it out of the zone, and the Eagles able to get the clear. Now taken by the Eagles, and Terrio gets it across the line, sent down the left wing with McCabe. It'll go behind the net and off to the right corner. 6:10 to go, first period in a 1-0 game. Held by the Panthers. They're able to get it back to center, put down just off the glove of Denham. Denham has the goal in the game, but the Eagles will take it, and they'll grab it in their own zone, send it back out to center. Under 6 to go in the first period, through the neutral zone again. They'll bring it across. Will the Panthers, wearing the red, the white, and a little hint of black, as they'll go back into their own zone with Mayer. Mayer spins around in his own zone, brings it through. It'll bounce off the boards right outside of the Trumbull bench. Again, neutral zone ice. Now they play it back into the zone. Good chance there for the Eagles, but instead it goes into the left corner with 5.5 to go in the first. Heck of a basketball game in the NBA today. Of course, they play that annual Martin Luther King Jr. Day game at the Garden, and the Knicks were, I believe, able to hold on as it comes down on net, and Gutman holds on. That got a little crazy with the Knicks there for a bit, John. What do you got?
It did, and you are right. The Knicks held on there also, and this from our friend Joe Morelli at the New Haven Register. He's at the Webster Bank Arena for the Martin Luther King Day Classic, quadruple header in high school basketball there. Hand holds on as Law misses a three-pointer at the buzzer. Hand 62, Law 59.
And Central will play in the 5 o'clock game as this comes down on net and the save made by Gutman. So good day for basketball, good day for hockey. Plenty of games going on. There was a game as early as, I believe, 10 o'clock this morning. Along the right wing it goes. Now spun back around, and Masuk will start back. Here we have a 1-0 game. Masuk on top. Denham's goal at 5:14 of the first. To the side of the right circle it goes. Grabbed there by Casey Bowler. Again, along those right wing boards, they'll take it once again. Send it down the right wing. Kevin Cirillo came on for Masuk. It's loose, top shelf, bobbled and held on to by Gutman. Kind of hit him on the shoulder, and he snagged it.
Kind of popped up, he stuck out his glove, and kind of like he was catching fungos a little bit, right? To give you a little hint of spring, which we are not getting. And when we have a break, I'll talk about a wind advisory and the activation of the state's cold weather protocol.
Not to mention the threat of some nasty weather coming up Friday into Saturday, but right now it goes beyond the end line and back behind the Trumbull net of Gutman, goes to those far boards in a 1-0 game, 4:25 to go in the first period. So starting back the other way goes Moker. Moker across the line to the side of the left circle, had his pocket picked by Brendan Andros, the freshman defenseman. Goes behind the net, bounces off the boards, comes back to center. Again, waiting. Cross ice goes Lucas Leibowitz, playing a game of catch with Gutman. Taken again by Leibowitz. Trying to find the tape of Theriot. It wasn't there with 4 to go in the first. They'll bring it back across the line, but into the Eagle zone. And just a couple of Eagles hanging around, playing a little game of keep away from Bagan. Off to the left boards now. Regrouping there with Theriot. Plays it back to center. Had it bounce away. No one touched it. Will this go for an icing? It will not. Icing waved off into the left corner. 3:40 to go in the first period. Sent back to center. Waiting there to grab it is Bagan, but nothing cooking, so they'll play it cross ice with the Eagles, and it's Dustin Mayer there. But by the way, I want to make sure my friend CJ Santiani standing right next to me, he has to listen to me all day running a camera, and oh my gosh. He deserves hazard pay, John.
I feel bad for him. I really do.
I do, too. These are tight quarters. Cross ice, it goes into the right circle, into the corner now, and throttled back through the Masuk zone. Back out the center. They'll play cross ice once again. Just a game of catch. Jacob Leibowitz, the defenseman, sends it down into the Masuk zone, but nobody home. Trevor Rochelle was trying to come on to create a little havoc, but it'll be spun around and taken by Masuk initially. Little touch pass coming out of the zone by Jacob Leibowitz. Down to the right circle, waiting. They're trying to be patient and feed it through the slot, but nothing there. So the Panthers will let it ride right around, go behind the net, taken over there by Bagan. Down to 2.5 to go in the first period. We will have words of wisdom from Kate Czaplinski as this afternoon goes along, and maybe an interview or two, and icing here stopping us with 2:29 to go in the first. John.
Rob, I have an update from the Dorothy Hamill rink where Glassmeyer has scored and given Darien a 1-0 lead over Greenwich. That at 3:01 of the second period.
CTHS Hockey Talk is reporting it was Kirby that put home a rebound, but
there's a correction. There's
yeah.
a correction on that.
Okay. Just happened to glance at it. All right. Off the face-off, control to the right wing boards with 2:20 to go in the first. So Glassmeyer the goal, 1-0 Darien. Darien trying to kind of get back to where they feel they belong. Here Trumbull's trying to get where they belong as it's put on net. And the save made, held on to by Tag Wise.
Solid rush by Trumbull, really the first real threat we've seen. And we're almost 13 minutes into this game.
Indeed, we're at 12:47 of the first. It's 1-0 Masuk on top. The Denham goal coming at 5:14. Off the faceoff, went right down to the net. Another try. It was loose in the slot as it comes back out in front for another try, but instead, Masuk comes away with it. They skate from top to bottom or right to left if you so choose. Tried to set it up in the slot. Instead, it will come behind the net with under 2 to go in the first. Bouncing back out of the zone. It'll be grabbed by Kuzminski for the Masuk Panthers. There's a whistle, there's a high stick, and that stops things with 1:48 to go in the first. Don, give me a perspective from your view.
Well, if those last two saves from freshman goalie Tag Weiss didn't look impressive from your perspective, they certainly were from ice level. I've been very impressed with how well he covers the net that time. On the butterfly, it went off the inside of his knee. He cleared it away. I was amazed by that.
Don, thank you very much. We've got 1:45 to go in the first. Puck goes behind the net, off toward the left corner, bounces loose into the left circle, and it'll be brought back out of the zone by the Masuk Panthers. They look to do something with it. Montague goes down the left wing, takes a minor check from Leibowitz. Now it comes back into the left circle, and spinning around is Brady Jensen. Jensen redirects it back out to center, off the boards to Leibowitz, right circle, puck loose for the put home. They score! Trumbull able to knot the game up with 1:20 to go in the first.
Tag Weiss went hard to his left and never came back. There was a ton of net to work with and an unmarked forward right there.
So that ties us up at 1. Bookkeeping off the announcement in a moment. But we have a 1-1 game for now at 13:40. Off the face-off, and the Eagles needed a little something. So a little life into the game as it goes to the left wing boards. Will O'Brien gets the goal. And Jake Leibowitz gets the assist. With under 1 to go in the first. It was almost a 2-1 game right there as Bagan was knocking on the doorstep. Held in at the right point. Through traffic it went, but off a body and deflected. Spun back the other way by the Eagles with Terrio. He steps across the line, goes down the right wing into the Masuk Panther zone. 39 to go in the period. Played back out to neutral zone ice, grabbed by Dustin Mayer. Mayer bounces it off the boards, gets his own look back, takes a look, resets, sends it back out of the zone. McCabe waits there, comes across the line with 25, plays catch there with Moker. Down the right wing it goes into the right corner, 19 to go in the period. Rifled around the boards, bounces loose along the left wing boards, snagged right near the top of the left circle. Now through traffic it goes, deflected off a body with 9. The Panthers trying to start back out with 6. Through the neutral zone with 4. Down on net it goes. They will stop play as it's held on to by Gutman with 2.9 to go in the first.
Glassmeyer has scored again for Darien. The Blue Wave up 2-0 on Greenwich at the Dorothy Hamill Rink. That in the second period.
So in Darien, they're saying, let's roll, baby, roll. Or maybe it's the Doors saying that. Face off to the left side of Gutman with 1, and that's it. First period comes to an end. 1-1 our score. John, good stuff.
Good period. Masuk dominating, really, if you kept time of possession, if you looked at when the puck was in the Trumbull defensive end, if you looked at quality chances. But Trumbull made the most of a chance late in the period, and we're right where we started.
Let us go down ice side just to see if anybody's got anything. I will start with Don.
Okay, well, I just saw Coach Andy Townsend just walked past me, and he said, he looked right at me. He said, I'll give you a couple seconds as we come back out onto the ice.
All right, that is fine. To Frank.
So not listed on that last goal. The play started with Brady Jensen. He was not credited with an assist. Deserved one, though, as he chipped it out of the zone where Leibowitz picked it up. But I tell you what, Jensen might have been the best Eagle in that period. He showed his speed, was really flying around his line with Burnback and O'Brien, really kept them in that period, as it looks like they're only going to be running 2 lines right now.
All right. Just to piggyback on what Frank said, it did look to me, that top Masuk line that started off the game so hot, they have gotten a lot of ice time. So it is going to be interesting to see how this wears on as we get into the second and third periods.
Don, did it look like they wore down?
It didn't look like they wore down because, they were controlling possession. What it looked like more than anything was they just had a couple of breakdowns because Masuk sustained pressure more so throughout the first period. Trumbull, though, as the period wore on, started to get those odd man rushes and obviously paid off the end at the goal with about a minute and a half to go.
All right, gentlemen, thank you all. We will take a break from here in Shelton. Score after 1, Masuk 1, Trumbull 1. Kate's next with the in-game news update. It's coming up right here. You're watching the FCAC on the HAN Network. At Innovative Health and Rehabilitation, we provide an advanced level of care to resolve symptoms and minimize recurrence. Our experienced professional staff design and implement effective plans to return individuals to their prior level of function. We specialize in the treatment of orthopedic and sports injuries, pre-post surgical rehabilitation, performance enhancement, strength and conditioning, vestibular rehabilitation, balance and gait training. A convenient location and flexible scheduling is available to accommodate your needs. We look forward to providing you with a comprehensive level of care to meet your rehabilitation goals. We are also affiliated with 3 high schools, Norwalk, West Hill, and Stamford. Our certified athletic trainers cover the athletic events at the high schools to prevent, treat, and educate student athletes and injuries. Our certified athletic trainers also take part in the New Canaan Youth Football Program. Reach us at 650 West Avenue in Norwalk. Call us at 203-852-9903. Innovative Health and Rehabilitation.
Denali is your outdoor retail destination in the Westfield Trumbull Mall. For the last 21 years, we have carefully selected clothing, footwear, and gear from a variety of the best outdoor brands, such as the North Face, Patagonia, Vineyard Vines, UGG, Merrell, GoPro, New Balance, and many more. Our stores have a friendly, knowledgeable staff to help you with all of your running, hiking, and cold weather needs, and in discovering all things outdoorsy and awesome. Visit us in the Westfield Trumbull Mall or online at DenaliOutdoor.com.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky, and this is your in-game news update for Monday, January 18th, bringing you the area's top stories today, including that 2 Norwalk youths were allegedly attacked following a basketball game in Stamford on Friday, leading to the arrest of 1 Stamford teen, and police say more arrests are to come. The attack on the Brian McMahon High School students took place after a basketball game between their team at Stamford High School at about 9 o'clock at night on Friday. Police said that right after the game, the 2 Norwalk youths were followed to their car by about 15 to 20 males. They were confronted and asked if they were from Norwalk, and when they said yes, they were viciously attacked by the mob, police said. Both victims were punched and kicked repeatedly. One victim was stabbed on the right side of his chest, and the other sustained a serious dental injury. Both also received many lacerations and bruises from the attack. The 2 then made their way back to Norwalk and sought treatment at Norwalk Hospital. Police there then contacted Stamford Police and told them of the assault. Stamford Police detectives, along with Stamford High School resource officers, began the investigation and quickly determined that the main aggressor of the attack was 19-year-old Malik Claiborne. He was arrested today and charged with second-degree assault and conspiracy to commit second-degree assault. And in other news, Monroe police are looking for suspects that allegedly robbed teenagers at gunpoint last Thursday. A Monroe resident was out walking his dog in the area of Abbey Lane and Sweetbriar Lane shortly before 8 o'clock at night on January 14th when he came across 2 youths that reported they had just been robbed. The victims described the suspect as black males wearing dark clothing and hoodies covering their heads. One male was described as being about 5 feet 3 inches tall with an average build, and the other male was approximately 6 feet tall, also with an average build. The victims were walking home from a friend's house when they were approached by the suspects from behind. One of those suspects displayed a handgun, and the youths were ordered to the ground and told to empty their pockets and hand over their backpacks. The suspects were seen leaving in a small dark sedan, and detectives are continuing that investigation. They're asking anyone with information to contact their tip line at 203-452-2839. And Trumbull firefighters were able to quickly extinguish a structure fire that seriously damaged a home on Sunnycrest Road last Friday morning. At about 11:45, firefighters were met with heavy fire conditions in the home. Units worked to quickly extinguish the blaze in about 20 minutes. Monroe and Stepney Fire Departments also responded to assist at the scene, while Shelton Fire Department provided station coverage for Trumbull. 3 firefighters were treated for minor injuries. The fire is currently under investigation by the Trumbull Fire Marshal's office. And finally, it is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day today, and Connecticut has honored the legacy of Dr. King with many ceremonies and events throughout southwestern Connecticut. To see how your local community honored Dr. King, check your HAN Network community news site. But that's all for your in-game news update. For the latest in local news, sports, and weather, watch Coffee Break weekdays at 11. This in-game news update was brought to you by Coastal Orthopedics.
Thanks to Kate Chaplinsky for that update. Couple of things that have happened later this afternoon. There is now a wind advisory in effect for Tuesday. It's going to be cold with the wind chill near zero. Keeping that in mind, the state has activated the severe cold weather protocol. That involves the opening of warming stations, the efforts to get people who might not otherwise have a place to go off of the streets. This is in effect from today through January 21st. Again, this just within the past 45 minutes. We are at the Rinks at Shelton, where it's 1-1, Masuk and Trumbull.
You want to recap the scoring, John? We can do that quickly.
Run that
as well.
down, Rob.
Denham scored at 5:14 off the assist from Montague, as well as O'Brien for Trumbull. So Denham for Masuk, O'Brien for Trumbull, and that assist went to Jacob Leibowitz. So good game so far, 1-1 the score. And again, weather we're keeping an eye on for the weekend as well. I mean, there has been talk of cats and dogs living in, mass hysteria and major snowstorms and blizzards and all that stuff. It's Monday. Let's not get too nuts about it just yet. But certainly from the National Weather Service and Jacob Mizell, there are certainly things to keep an eye on. And yes, those two
let's keep an eye on
are absolutely worth mentioning, because Jacob does just a remarkable job. A young man who we met a few years ago when he was still attending Staples High School, in fact. Speaking of guys that attended high school, at least I think they did, how about Don and Frank? Don, are you there?
I am here, just answering a text from the Red Cross here. They're looking for me to make a donation. But yeah, I'm standing here ice side. I was just talking to Coach Andy Townsend off mic. He's going to be joining us in a couple of seconds when his team comes back out. But he seems to be he's happy with his team's efforts so far. The word he uses is that this is the team that wants to compete today.
Frank, how about you?
Well, hopefully we'll be able to speak with the head coach for Trumbull after the second intermission. If this Trumbull team wants to get back on top, they've got to get onto the forecheck. Too many times that period, they got stuck in their own zone running around. This is a team that's going to have to use their speed to outmatch the muscle of Masuk today.
Guys, thank you. As soon as Coach Townsend is ready, we will go back down to Don, but it's a 1-1 score here as we get ready for the second period. We've got some other scores we can give you from around the state and the great CTHS hockey. And you really want to go to his website at cthshockeyscores.weebly.com. Really does a great job keeping the scoreboard updated. And gosh, I wish every sport had a person like this.
He does a great job. We lean on him a lot for information.
Yep.
Okay, guys, you ready?
Grateful.
We'll send it back down to Don. Don, it's all yours.
Okay, thanks. I'm here with Masuk coach Andy Townsend. Coach, well, first of all, we talked earlier. This looks like it's the good Masuk team, correct?
Yeah, no, definitely over the past week we've been haven't been playing our best, but this is a good period. Competed really well, and I thought we controlled a bit of the play there in the beginning of the first period.
I thought you did too, and I thought you sustained pressure better than Trumbull. They got you with a couple of odd man rushes. Is their speed bothering your guys?
They're pretty quick coming out of the zone. We just got to do a better job as their D getting up in the play and not staying so far back. And if we do that, I think we can do neutral zone and limit those odd man rushes.
Okay, last question for me. How much are you looking forward to watching Tag Weiss in goal for the next 3.5 years?
Tag he's been playing really well in a good first period, and just if he keeps working at it, he can be a really good goalie in high school for us.
All right, Coach, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, Don, thank you very much as we take it back up here with just about 90 seconds remaining toward the second period in a 1-1 game.
They're through two at the Dorothy Hamill rink, Rob. 2-0. Darien leads Greenwich.
Some other scores from earlier today: E.O. Smith-Tolland, the Bucks doubled up New Milford 4-2. Housatonic Northwestern Wamogo over, or rather Woodstock Academy over Housatonic Northwestern Wamogo 8-2. It's also NFI beating Farmington Valley 5-2. New Canaan 5, Xavier 1. North Branford throttling Amity 9-3. East Catholic over SGWL 3-1. Norwalk McMahon 1, Wilton nothing as they go to the third. It's WMR on top of the Eastern Connecticut Eagles 3-1. Darien 2, Greenwich nothing, as John just told you. Bishop Hendricken of Rhode Island over Notre Dame, scoreless after one with Notre Dame of West Haven. And a couple of others for you. Watertown Pomperog at Daniel Ham, they're scoreless. And BCR at the Red Hawks, scoreless. That's in the first. Two other games on the docket: Fermi Enfield at Guilford at 5:20, South Windsor at Cheshire at 6 o'clock. And yes, that was straight from our good friend CTHS Hockey.
Rob, something else to keep in mind. That was a physical first period, but a pretty clean one, too. We have still not seen a penalty in this game.
That is true. Very clean otherwise. Physical but clean, and that's okay.
Yeah, there wasn't anything that I saw really that was close to warranting a penalty being called, to be honest with you.
No. Anything you saw down there, Frank, that would warrant a penalty?
No, I thought both teams did a good job using the shoulders to the body, nothing to the head, keeping the hands down, and there really wasn't much stick activity. The closest thing might have been with about 10 seconds left. Masuk was looking to get that quick break, and I believe it was number 16, Taro for Trumbull. Almost got a hook on the hands there, but they let it go into the period, no big deal.
Just want to hammer the point home as a reminder. This is a little bit of a unique perspective, so you're looking through nets and glass and everything else, but certainly a great time here at the Rinks at Shelton, and we're glad you're along with us. 1-1 our score as we get started with period number 2, and Tag Wise, the freshman, right down below us. For Masuk, that is. But through the neutral zone, it is now Masuk that will take it and send it back around. Now they'll take it themselves. Blake Cleland goes cross ice, bounces it off Ferraro, and they'll get it down the left wing side. 20 seconds gone by, second period, 1-1 our score. They'll cycle around to the side of the left circle, bring it cross ice, as this will trickle back through the neutral zone, and down the right wing it goes. Snagged by Ferraro. Now he drops down to his knees, puck loose, going for the backhand, now grabbing it, thrown on net, and it got deflected off the body of Blake Cleland. Along the near side boards, it'll drop right down below us. We could almost throw something at it. Puck loose as they try to go from the sharp angle. It's loose again, and now put on net. Goes over into the left circle and taken away by Bagan for Masuk. They get it across the line and send it back out to center. Bouncing loose, it'll come down into the circle and taken by Masuk. Brendan Andros waiting there, sends it ahead to his mate TJ Scalia, who gets it across the line, and the Eagles take it themselves. Backhanded through the neutral zone, it'll come down to Wise, and he plays it to his left, off into the corner. Andros was there for the Panthers in a 1-1 game, just about 90 seconds gone by in period number 2. Down into now behind the net of Gutman for Trumbull. They will play it back out to center. Turned loose again and sent down the left wing side into the circle. Loose in that left circle. Again through the neutral zone, and they'll get it across the line. For Trumbull, that was Brady Jensen. You heard Frank talk about Jensen and how impressed he was with the way that Jensen played in the first period. Bouncing around the boards it goes, and the hard rubber goes behind the net with 2 and change gone here in the second period. Puck loose again. It'll go behind the net one more time of Gutman, heading off toward that right corner. Now taken in the right circle by Trumbull. They'll look to redirect and play it back out. Through the neutral zone they go. They get across the Masuk line, go down to the side of the left circle. Behind the net, waiting there, that was Martin Birnbach, the junior forward for Trumbull. This will bounce back into the neutral zone and get corralled, thrown back now once more behind the cage of Wise. To the near side boards and almost out of the zone, but the official standing right there, it bounced off his skate. So it played on and went down now into the Trumbull zone. 12:15 to go, second period. It's a 1-1 tie. Turned over and taken by the Panthers. They head off toward the left circle. John, I'm so tempted on occasion to call them the Cougars, and it's because of that great logo of theirs.
Yeah, you got to watch that, but it is totally the Washington State logo.
Yeah, absolutely, and nothing wrong with that.
And that's awesome.
Here come the Eagles. Nifty move down on net, and the save made by Wise. Boy, that would have been so beautiful for Jensen to finish that, but Wise up to the task. Oh, and it's loose through traffic from the blue line, and Trumbull scores. Sometimes a goal is going to be bowling shoe ugly, and that was it right there. Jacob Leibowitz makes it a 2-1 game.
All that beautiful skating and that effort by Jensen. And the puck ends up getting back to Leibowitz at the blue line, and he fires it in from pretty good distance.
So 2-1 the score as a result of that goal.
Leibowitz will be credited with the goal. Theroux's going to get the assist. From my vantage point, it looked like it might have been deflected on the way to the net. Must have gone off a Masuk player, as they're going to give Leibowitz credit.
All right. Frank, thank you. 11.5 to go second period. 2-1. You can hear the announcement at 3:16. So Jake Leibowitz from Terrio at 3:16. It's a 2-1 game, looking for more, and they almost got it. Now they score off the backhander. Eric McCabe makes it a 3-1 game. So the Eagles scoring twice in a span of 34 seconds, and it's a 3-1 game.
And Theroux picking up his second assist in that time span, as he will get the only assist on the McCabe goal to extend the lead to 2.
So into the left corner it goes. Terrio has got 2 assists now. McCabe the goal, and it's a 3-1 game.
And Rob, that's the second time that Tag Weiss has chosen one side of the net hard, both times his left, gone all the way over on a wholesale move and left between the pipes open.
Puck hit the netting, stopping us. 10:43 to go, second period. Faceoff will come back out of the zone. They'll play it on the dot closer to the Masuk bench. In a 3-1 game, off the draw, comes down into the Masuk zone. Played in the corner. Taken back behind the net. Just trying to throw it on net. Oh, it's loose and comes over to the near side. There was a good opening for Birnbach. Couldn't quite throw it home. Trying from the sharp angle, though. Just outside the cage, and then the wraparound try. Not there for Rochelle. Goes into the right corner. Now taken along the right wing boards, and out to center it goes. Trumbull having much better of it. Early on, they looked a little flat, but Trumbull playing much better. This wrister coming in from the top of the right circle, and the kick save made by Wise. Now thrown back the other way, this time off the stick save by Wise, off to the left corner, again into the circle, thinking backhander, setting it up out in front, and it's loose and goes just wide. Taken by Jensen. Jensen holding it in at the right point, side of the right circle, in the circle now, deflects off the body of Ferraro, heading toward the right corner, fanning on the try from behind the cage was Moker as it comes back behind the net, or correction, that was Rochelle. Rochelle grabs it, just kind of works it down on net, almost got deflected, in fact, out in front by Cleveland, and now the whistle with 9.5 to go in the second period. It's 3-1 Trumbull.
Rob, the Norwalk McMahon co-op go into overtime with Wilton. They're tied at 1.
Face-off will come to the left of Tag Wise. Just a 5'3" goalie, but looking sharp. And a freshman, so he will grow. Back out the center. It'll be a cross-ice pass through the neutral zone again. It'll come across the line, as unable to corral it was Bagan. Down into the left corner. Moker was there. He grabs it for Trumbull in the right circle. Backhands it toward the circle. Nobody home, so it'll be a Panther to come over and play it. Played by Andros. Now at the top of the circle, it was Bagan out to center. With a head of steam the other way goes Denham. Denham has the goal for the Panthers. Through the left circle it goes, heading toward the left corner. 8:50 to go in the second period. Thrown down into the right corner now. It's a 3-1 game in favor of Trumbull. They have scored the last 3 unanswered. They'll bring it back out of their own zone. Moker gets across the line, side of the left circle, put down on net, save made. The blocker save made by Wise. Out of the circle, they'll play it back to center, turn it around again. Denham there, cross ice it goes. Just a big blast thrown down the right wing by Mayer, rattles all the way around the boards to the near side and into the corner. Along came Jensen. Jensen from behind the cage, now the puck loose. Off it goes into the right corner. 8:10 to go second period. It's a 3-1 game. Going back the other way is Denham. Bagan down the left wing. Bagan into the left circle. They'll go behind the net and play it into the right corner. 8 minutes to go, second period. 3-1 Trumbull. Trumbull scoring twice in the span of just under a minute. 7:50 remaining in the second period. Backhanded along the left side boards, now played through traffic, held in at the right point, and it bounced away from Ferraro, the defenseman, playing it down the right boards. Now into the circle it goes, deflected, hitting the netting. 7:38 to go, second period, 3-1. Let's check in with Don.
Well, Rob, the Masuk bench here trying to rally. They had, looks like that fluky bouncing goal took a lot of the life out of them. But then a couple minutes after that second goal, Adam Montague delivered a big hit along the boards. The bench came back to life. It looks like Masuk's got their legs back under them now.
Off the face-off, Don, to the left of Will Gutman, who has allowed the 1 goal so far today. That goal came back at 5:14 of the first period and really was just one of those things that, as Frank alluded to, a knuckler, or as we like to say, a flutter bomb. Played back to center it goes, through the neutral zone, and across the Masuk line come the Eagles. Down into the left corner with Jensen, but taken away and going back the other way. This time it was Bukowski for Masuk. 7 minutes to play, second period. The Eagles will play it back. Jensen across the line, a dipsy doodle through the circle. Now puts it on net and scores! Arguably the best individual effort and best goal we've seen today. A pretty play by Brady Jensen makes it a 4-1 game.
They're just charging hard at the Masuk net, are these Trumbull Eagles, and they're making it pay off.
So Trumbull having themselves one heck of a second period. And if I could spy on that conversation, I believe Birnbach's going to get the assist.
And that is correct. Birnbach will get the assist on the Jensen goal, and we talked about him after the first period, and he's only picked up his play here in the second. He is all over the ice, controlling the puck very well, and has been an effective player all night for this Trumbull team.
Frank, from your perspective, does it seem like Wise is a little off his game now?
I wouldn't say he's a little off his game. The 2 goals that happened earlier, those are tough plays. Those are good shots that cause rebounds where you got to finish. That last one's a tough break, but you just had the feeling that Jensen was due and one was coming. It's still a lot. We're only halfway through the second period. There's still a lot of hockey left, and there's teams going to get chances. He's got to keep his head in this one.
All right. Thank you very much, Frank. Frank and Don both ice side today. It's a 4-1 game. Trumbull on top, 6.5 to go here in the second period with John Kovach. I'm Rob Adams at the Rinks at Shelton. Back here Wednesday for our next broadcast, St. Joe's and Darien, as this goes in from the blue line. And now suddenly it's 5-1. That looked like Mayer, the defenseman, from the blue line this time. And again, for the second time today, the Eagles have scored twice in the span of under a minute. So now 5-1. We'll get the announcement in a moment as we head into the left circle. They'll go cross ice with the Eagles. Eagles just having the better of it right now as they bring it across the line, down the side, into the right circle, setting it up out in front. It was deflected off into the right corner. And Masuk will start back out. They move from left to right, or top to bottom, or bottom to top, I beg your pardon, in the red, the white, and the black. Down behind the net now, into the right corner. Mayer does get the goal. And an unassisted goal at 8:41. It's a 5-1 game. Bouncing down on net, and Wise leaves it aside. The Wise play going to Scalia and out of the zone. Across the line goes Bagan into the right circle, and this will be stopped with 5:21 to go. What do? He's allowed several goals pretty easily. Do you pull him?
I don't know. He's a freshman. He's the future of your program. They're not all his fault. Guys have been left unmarked. I don't know that I'd pull him just for confidence.
I agree. Off the face-off. Played back behind the net. 5:10 to go, second period. Into the corner now. It'll be taken back behind the net by Denham. Denham scored at 5:14 in the first, but that was a different life in this game. Heading off into the right corner, just looking to center. Masuk trying to get something going. They've allowed 5 unanswered. The Eagles first scored to tie it up at 13:40 of the first, and since then the Eagles have scored at 3:16, 3:50, 8:03, and 8:41. 5-1 as we come down to 4.5 remaining in the second period. The Eagles start back out. Playing it through the neutral zone, they'll get across the line. Here comes Jensen. Jensen lost the handle on it as it goes into the right circle. Played all the way back out, and now it's Denham. Denham across the Trumbull line. Denham into the left circle. Throws it on net, and they score. New life for the Panthers. It's a 5-2 game.
And that's a huge goal in this game, Rob, because it stops the bleeding from Masuk, and they still have time to chip away and get another one back before the end of the period.
The play started at the other end. Jensen coming through the zone, tried to make a move. Finally, a Masuk player took the body on him. It was Blake Cleland who stood him up, caused the turnover, and led to the opportunity at the other end.
The Eagles look to answer. Puck loose. It goes into the right circle and behind the net. 4 minutes to play. Second period, now a 5-2 game. As Masuk able to stop some of the bleeding. They'll bring it down the right wing, head toward the right corner. It'll go behind the net and off to the top of the left circle.
10:46 of the second period by number 23, Ryan Denham.
So Denham unassisted, and that is his second of the day.
And Rob, it was a great shot from a tough angle. It was from right off the dot. It went over, right over the blocker pad near side.
And John just passing along some really stunning entertainment news. John, read that to me. Is that has
NBC is citing the band as reporting it, and and just shocking. Legendary Eagles singer and guitarist Glenn Frey has died in New York City. This according to the band, and this we're citing NBC on that.
Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. 2:50 to go, second period here. It's a 5-2 game, but that's stunning entertainment news coming across right now. Now across the line come the Eagles. They'll go into the slot. Backhanded score! Jensen again, and he's putting on a show. It's a 6-2 game.
He rushed hard right up the middle and beat Weiss. Beautiful goal.
That one will go unassisted in the books, and we saw the difference as to what happened last time. Jensen comes in, no one plays the body, trying to just play the puck, and he's able to go through several defenders on his way to his second goal of the period.
Trumbull goal scored at 12:19 of the second period by number 15, Brady Jensen.
So Jensen his second.
Jensen unassisted at 12:19.
And it's unassisted at 12:19. So a couple of unassisted goals all in a row. And what a second period we've seen. 2:12 to go second period. It's a 6-2 game. Flipped on net, and this one will be held onto by Gutman.
Was 1-1 13 minutes ago.
I was about to say that. This was a different game a little while ago. 2:07 to go in the second period. Face off to the right side of Gutman. Off the draw, goes behind the net. Down in the Trumbull zone with 1:53 to play in the second. This will come down into the Masuk end. They'll turn it back the other way. They'll step across the line, bounce it down. It's Bagan trying to make it 5-3 as he flies through, looking like Bobby Orr for a moment, and it'll be stopped with 1:42 to go in the second period.
Will Gutman had to deal with a lot of traffic to make that save, and he caught it clean. He had two of his own players and one Masuk lined up in front of him. I really don't know how he found that puck.
Guys, just a little note here. I'm down here by the Masuk bench. Number 17, Kevin Cirillo, a sophomore center, getting some attention from the trainer. Looks like he's got a cut on his pinky finger. Expect to see him back in the game. Actually, he's heading back toward the bench as we speak, so he looks okay.
Face-off will come back down into the neutral zone ice. It's played off the draw by Andros for Masuk. Steps across the line, rifles it through. Puck was loose. Montague just tried to swipe at it. It comes back out to the neutral zone. Andros again. He'll send it to his left to Ferraro. Just about 80 seconds remaining. Second period, 6-2.
I've got my first visitor of the night, guys. It is Brady Jensen. And 2 minutes for hooking. If Trumbull is able to kill off the next minute and 5, they will have 20 seconds left to start the third period.
All right, thank you, Frank. Didn't want you to be too lonely in that penalty box. Under 60 to play in the second. And that the first penalty of the afternoon. Puck goes into the left corner now. Over there to grab it is Bagan for Masuk. Trumbull in the black. Played back near the left point, and this will come all the way down. Icing waved off as it goes into the left corner. Andros, the freshman defenseman. He'll play it ahead to Ferraro. Ferraro will have to play keep away from Moker and back out through the neutral zone. 25 remaining in the second period of a 6-2 game. Down to 40 to go on the man advantage. Again, behind the net. They'll start back out. That's Denham. Denham across the line. Goes and grabs it off the left boards. Tries to throw it down on net. It'll head over into the right circle. Again, pushed all the way down with the power play on and 20 seconds remaining on it. And the second period comes to an end. 6-2 after 2.
You could not have two more different periods than we just watched.
Bizarre. Frank, I think that's the best way to put it. What a difference.
Well, you could see that there was a lot less physicality in that period. Trumbull played to their strength, used their speed to get out in space, cause odd man rushes, and they really capitalized on their chances.
Don, your thoughts?
Well, just to piggyback on what Frank said, it looked to me like I mentioned at the end of the first period that I was concerned about the amount of ice time that top Masuk line was getting. It looked to me like they just didn't have the same legs under them that they had in the first period. And as you were mentioning, a lot of reaching with their sticks for the puck, not a lot of taking the body. And as a result, Trumbull got their odd man rushes and shots all alone in on Tag Weiss.
Gentlemen, thank you both. We will take a break after 2. 6-2. The Trumbull Eagles on top of the Masuk Panthers. Don, John, Frank, me, the whole gang will return. Second intermission, 6-2 our score with Trumbull up on Masuk. You're watching the FCAC, and today you're also watching the SCC, the SWC on the HAN Network.
Denali is your outdoor retail destination in the Westfield Trumbull Mall. For the last 21 years, we have carefully selected clothing, footwear, and gear from a variety of the best outdoor brands, such as the North Face, Patagonia, Vineyard Vines, UGG, Merrell, GoPro, New Balance, and many more. Our stores have a friendly, knowledgeable staff to help you with all of your running, hiking, and cold weather needs, and in discovering all things outdoorsy and awesome. Visit us in the Westfield Trumbull Mall or online at denalioutdoor.com.
Here at the Darien Sports Shop, we are very excited about our newly redesigned men's department. Gentlemen, if you're shopping for work, weekend, or wedding, we've got the latest styles and trends inside our spacious new department just for you. We have vast selections from Peter Millar, Vineyard Vines, Johnny O, Duckhead, Barber, and so much more. And you can even walk out of the store in the new Wolverine 1,000-mile men's boot. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark Building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
At Innovative Health and Rehabilitation, we provide an advanced level of care to resolve symptoms and minimize recurrence. Our experienced professional staff design and implement effective plans to return individuals to their prior level of function. We specialize in the treatment of orthopedic and sports injuries, pre-post surgical rehabilitation, performance enhancement, strength and conditioning, vestibular rehabilitation, balance and gait training. A convenient location and flexible scheduling is available to accommodate your needs. We look forward to providing you with a comprehensive level of care to meet your rehabilitation goals. We are also affiliated with 3 high schools, Norwalk, West Hill, and Stamford. Our certified athletic trainers cover the athletic events at the high schools to prevent, treat, and educate student athletes and injuries. Our certified athletic trainers also take part in the New Canaan Youth Football Program. Reach us at 650 West Avenue in Norwalk. Call us at 203-852-9903. Innovative Health and Rehabilitation.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky, and
It's
this
the
is
new
your
year.
in-game
The
news
to-do list is
update
long
for
and it's
Monday.
easy to feel pulled in many directions at once. Your professional personal shoppers at Walter Stewart's are ready to check groceries off your list by shopping for you. Save extra time this year and spend it doing more important things. Great food and wine delivered to your home with the same-day service. Shop Stewart's online at stewartsmarket.com.
You are watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 500,000 viewers enjoyed our broadcasts in the first 5 months. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
We welcome you back to the Rinks at Shelton. I am still stunned by the music news that John Kovac passed along just about 5 minutes ago.
Mike Suppy first with the alert and alerted me to it. And unfortunately, we've reached the point in social media that your first reaction is, I've got to go confirm that this is true, because there are so many of these stupid hoaxes being perpetrated on the internet.
Well, both TMZ and NBC have reported it, and, you know, sometimes we don't want to give credence to such places, but TMZ does do a pretty solid job.
I'll tell you what, they beat a lot of people to this news such as this.
So again, the news breaking, if you are familiar with your music, you have no doubt heard the tunes of the Eagles a million times over the years, and Glenn Fry, one of their founding partners, has died. I believe the report that I saw indicated he was 67, and just so many songs come to mind, John, at least for me.
Oh, you can't even start in the time that we have. I mean, it's so many Eagles songs.
So, of course, from Peaceful, Easy Feeling to Lion Eyes to Take It Easy to you name it. But in any event, let's check in and talk some hockey once again. Or, if they want to talk about the Eagles, what the heck. Both Frank Granito and Donald Eng are down by the ice. Frank, I will start with you.
Well, I'll stick to the hockey and go with the Trumbull Eagles here. And what a tremendous period they had. 5 goals in the period, 4 unanswered to start it. And they really started to expand the ice and use their speed to their advantage. At the end of the first period, they tried to play a little bit physical, match up with Masuk, but I think they're now playing their game. And let's keep something else in mind, guys, before we jump over to Don. There are the top 8 teams of the FCAC will qualify for the postseason. Only 7 teams right now have any points in conference play. The most are 4 points by Greenwich, Darien, and I do believe this Trumbull Eagle team.
Trumbull is climbing into the thick of things for sure. Don, your thoughts?
Yes, as Frank said, the Trumbull, the speed differential between these two teams became really apparent as we got into the second period. I'm going to be interested to hear from Trumbull's coach if that was something that they had really worked on and talked about during between periods, because the difference in the way these Eagles were skating was very visible from ice level.
Rob, from our friend Paul Silverfarb with the Greenwich Sentinel, they're in the final 5 at the Dorothy Hamill Rinks, still 2-0 Darien.
Yeah, I just had a feeling today, and I don't know why. I don't know what it was. To quote an Eagles song, I can't tell you why. I had a feeling that the Darien Blue Wave would rise up today.
I believe the spread on that game was 1.5, right?
We try not to go there with high school sports, but
that was for entertainment purposes only.
Exactly. Direct those cards and letters to Frank Granito.
With an I. No, but Frank, I really think that Greenwich, while they were undefeated, they were kind of, I don't want to say untested, but they were in that spot with the target on their back, and Darien needed to win this game.
Well, Darien definitely proves themselves yet again with that kind of a win. Assuming they can hold on here, let's not count our chickens just yet. But this might also come down to Darien just having Greenwich's number right now. They took care of them in the state and FCX championship last year. At a point in time, it might be a mind game, and Greenwich might need something to just sort of get them over the hump where they think they can finally beat Darien.
And I think that's a fair point, because sometimes a team just gets in your head, and you think about Darien beating Greenwich 1-0 last year in the state championship game in Division I, that great FCAC, all FCAC final that we saw last year, but the Cardinals just could not get anything going late in that game.
Yeah, sometimes a team gets in your head, and no matter how much you do, you play tight against them. Switching over to basketball, Rob, over at the MLK Classic at Webster Bank Arena, our friend Joe Morelli from the Register, who's been there for the quadruple header. Wilbur Cross leading Bridgeport Central 23-9 through one quarter in the nightcap of that game. Running down the earlier scores, Harding beat Career 77-55. Brookfield over Colby Cathedral 74-53, and Hand with a 62-59 victory over Law.
As we get ready to send it back down to Frank, as soon as he gives me a high sign, I will send it.
Well, thanks, Rob. I'm joined by head coach Greg Maxey of the Trumbull Eagles. Coach, what a great period you guys had. It looked like you used your speed to your advantage that period. Did you guys make any adjustments in that category?
Yeah, first period we were a little flat. We talked about our intensity level and pursuing the puck. We want to make their defense make some mistakes. We gave them too much time in the first period to set up, make good plays. I thought we did a nice job of forechecking, using our speed to pressure them, make some mistakes. I thought we were a little hungry around their net, and that's what we wanted, and it paid off for us.
Brady Jensen, one of the older players on your team, a true leader. He's been unbelievable tonight. How does he make the players around him better with his play?
He's a very dynamic player. He's a very good stick handler. He gets the defense on their heels, and hopefully, it opens up some opportunities for everybody else. But he's talented. He can put the puck in the net. He can beat, he's very good on the one-on-ones. He's a big part of our offense.
You guys come in a little cold. You've only won one of your last 5 games. Is this a step you need to take right now as you get back into conference play to put yourselves in a good position for the postseason?
Well, these are the games, if we want to get the postseason, that we have to win. We know that. Massa's had a nice run the last few years, but we know that, coming in, this is a game we have to win to qualify for the tournament. We have a very difficult schedule, so we can't waste these kind of games.
Thank you very much, Coach. Good luck, and we'll talk to you soon. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Frank, as well as Don and Coach Maxey. Just about ready for the third period. 6-2 the score, and wow, what a second period we saw.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple of minutes to run that down before they drop the puck.
My gosh, it was 1-1 after one. Denham and O'Brien, the goal scorers at 5:14 and 13:40. Second period, though. Leibowitz at 3:16, McCabe at 3:50, Jensen at 8:03, Mayer at 8:41, Denham at 10:46, Jensen at 12:19. Didn't take me too long, but that's a lot of scoring.
You didn't do the assists. You bought time there.
That's what I did. I was smart. We head now to period number 3.
Don't announce harder, announce smarter.
6-2 the score. And we'll see if Masuk has the comeback left in them. But a 5-goal period for Trumbull.
Have we ever called a 5-goal period? I don't know that we have.
I think we had a 5-goal period to start the year in girls hockey, if I recall.
That's true.
New Canaan Guilford, I believe, was 5-0 after one. But nonetheless, remember, there is a power play still rolling. They haven't started the clock. Now it helps if they start the clock. They have 15 to go on it. There was about 2 to 3 seconds of game time that didn't roll off. And yes, that clock's the official one. They bring it down across the line. Ours is unofficially official because, well, it's A.J. Simonowski. Puck loose, and it comes over into the right circle. Down, the penalty has expired as it bounces off the glass and back out to center. AJ directing today, so he is the one controlling our own clock that you see here on the HAN network, thus I make the reference. 33 seconds gone by here in the third as it's controlled by the Eagles. They'll start back out with Moker. Moker across the line. Moker, the left-handed shot, goes to blast it on net, hits the boards, and comes back near the point and out of the zone. So it'll be taken once again by Jacob Leibowitz. Leibowitz goes cross-ice, sends it over to Mayer. Mayer, the defensive partner, steps across his own line, now gets it ahead through the neutral zone, and it's played back by Masuk, who seems like they're almost skating in a little bit of quicksand right now.
They really do. They look very sluggish on the ice.
So they'll get it across the line. Here he comes again. That man is Jensen. He has 2 on the day. Trying to throw his stick at it, literally, was Montague. Lost control of it, and it'll come back into the Trumbull Eagles zone. 1:20 gone, third period, 6-2. Trumbull on top of Masuk on this Monday afternoon. We're back with you here on Wednesday in what will in all likelihood be a different setup, at least from the way we've broadcast today, as this will go behind the net. We're up in the office today, but likely out in the elements, such as they are here on Wednesday for Darien and St. Joseph.
Having called games from the Winter Garden, I don't know that I call here out in the elements.
Exactly. No, the Winter Garden and, of course, the Wonderland of Ice. For me, it's Wonderland of Ice more so than Winter Garden's cold, but Wonderland it's an ice palace. Across the line they go, down into the left circle. That was Jensen for the Eagles, and it'll be taken back by the Panthers. Skating through the neutral zone, Andros goes across the line to the side of the right circle with 12:47 to go in the final frame of a 6-2 game, unless Masuk can throw 4 on the board, and then we get overtime. Puck loose into the right corner, puck loose again, and it's pushed aside by Gutman. But we've seen some pretty big comebacks, certainly over the weekend. We almost saw a huge one yesterday in the NFL, a 31-0 playoff lead by the Carolina Panthers, almost blown. Seattle comes all the way back, and, well, they lose 31-24. This loose in traffic goes into the left circle, and then, of course, the Knicks earlier today blew what I think was an 18-point lead, but they did hold on and win the game as icing called here with 12:12 to go.
Rob, it's a final in Greenwich. 3-0. The Blue Wave knocks off previously unbeaten Greenwich.
That is a solid statement for David Voigt in net and the Darien Blue Wave, the defending FCAC and state champions. They are not dead just yet, and I think you got to put them back near the number 1 slot in the state.
And another statement win earlier, New Canaan 4 goals from Tyler Hill, beat Xavier 5-1.
Off the face-off, it was rifled on net by Denham, who's trying for his own hat trick. He would have all the activity today for Masuk. 6-2, 12 minutes remaining. Getting across the line, down goes Moker. Moker into the left circle, heading toward the left corner. He's over there. Puck goes behind the net with under 12 to go and a 6-2 Trumbull lead. Taken back behind the net, they'll set things up there. Birnbach back there for Trumbull, but here come the Panthers. Played through the neutral zone, going off the glass. Now they'll play it ahead, and it'll be the Eagles once again. This just pushed ahead, down the left wing side it goes, and down into the left corner. They'll bring it cross ice, bounce it off the boards, held in at the left point. It was Masuk holding it in on their own as it comes down into the Trumbull zone, and it goes behind the net. Looking for the wraparound try was Bagan. He'll grab it in the circle. Thinking about the one-timer, Denham now in the slot, just threw it down. Another try, and it comes off the side of the cage and off to the near side, out of the corner. Bagan throws it up near the mask, and thinking with his head, of course, is Gutman. Not a Henrik Lundqvist kind of thing where he tries to do it on purpose. This deflected off the body of Dustin Mayer. Henrik Lundqvist, known for at least doing that about once a season where he actually makes a save with his head, this icing with 10:52 to go.
There have not been many icings.
Not many.
Was a little bit of jostling in front of the net down there, though, as Trumbull tried to establish, or Masuk tried to establish position in front of the Trumbull net, and Gutman was having none of it and letting his stick and his arms do the talking there.
Cirillo and Jensen for the draw. It goes behind the net, off to the side of it now, to the left side of Gutman. It's 6-2 with 10:40 to go in the third period. Played back into the neutral zone, now pushed ahead along the boards, and they'll get it back down into the Trumbull zone. Back toward the Trumbull line, they'll get it out of the zone and bring it back into the Trumbull zone once again. Trying to play a game of keep away. That time it was Sam Gutman and out of the zone. Neutral zone ice now. They get it across the line, and starting back is Masuk. Masuk ahead with his head of steam. Here's Scalia. Had it go through traffic, and it'll be covered up by Gutman. That's something we haven't seen a lot of today either. Not a lot of covers.
Not a lot of covers, not a lot of icings.
No.
And very few penalties.
Face-off will come to the left side.
We're seeing a
Will
lot,
Gutman, go ahead.
A lot of different weather maps if you watch online, though.
Oh, I bet you are.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, talk of a storm later this week. Saturday into Sunday is what they're saying right now. But again, a little too early to really make any kind of true determination. And that's what I leave to Jacob Mizell, SWCT, NY Weather. What a great job he does. Out of the Trumbull zone now. They'll get it across the Masuk line. Pushed aside by Wise. He came out of the crease ever so slightly. Going along the left wing boards now. They haven't really tested Wise here in this third period. But then again, it's a 6-2 game. So just keep the score where it is. And Trumbull would be happy to get out of here with win number 4 on the season. Both these teams have 3 wins today. Looks like a penalty coming here with 9.5 to go. So this one coming at 5:30. Getting shown the door is McCabe.
Tripping.
Frank is not lonely.
Yeah, you're all talk, bud. All talk.
It is McCabe. He is going for tripping.
Face off to the left side of Gutman. Second power play of the afternoon. And now they blow another whistle.
This one's going to go against Masuk. It will be Montague off the draw. He's going to go 2 for slashing, so that will negate the power play. We will skate 4 aside for the next minute and 56.
That was quick.
I had to think that was the last thing Masuk needed. Not only does it negate the power play, but now you skate 4-on-4. A lot more open ice for the Eagles that are looking much fresher to me and much quicker.
And Jensen is on the ice. One more to pick up the hat trick for him.
Off the face-off now. As the guy said, we'll skate 4 aside. Through the neutral zone. Sent down the left side by Moker. It'll go behind the net. Grabbing it there is Scalia. Held in at the left point. As you hear the announcements coming through. Across the line. There goes Jensen down on net. And it's loose over to the left point. Held in there. Leibowitz goes to the right corner. It's a 6-2 game with 8:48 to go in the third period. Down to 8:40. There will be the briefest of power plays at the end for Trumbull. But right now we're 4-on-4 for another 1 minute. 6-2 game, 8:27 to go in the third period. Down into the right corner it goes, back behind the net now. Cleland comes over there, had his pocket picked by Jacob Leibowitz, gets out of his own zone, gets across the Masuk line, goes to the side of the right circle, setting it up out in front, trying to get it. And you know what happens here when Jensen's on the ice. Now the other guys want to feed him for that third goal. They want that hat trick. They know what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Again, held in, right point, goes behind the net. There is Jensen. Jensen, left corner, gets pushed hard into the boards by Denham. Down to 26 remaining on the 4-on-4, I beg your pardon. Held at the left circle and taken back out by Denham, who hits the post and brings it back out. Rattles around through the neutral zone, across the line. They'll turn it back and go the other way. Terrio gets across the line, does it himself, thinks about the backhand, puts it on net, save made wise, and down to 1, and all penalties have expired. 7:25 to go in the third. It's an active 6-2 game.
And things starting to get a little chippier here as we get down the home stretch. Tensions rise with this kind of a game. You've seen a couple little shots here and there from both sides. Hopefully nothing too serious.
6-2 the score with 7:20 to go. Blasted from the left point, goes to the right wing boards, held at the right point, goes down the right wing side. Masuk trying to get it out of the zone, they do, but there's an Eagle waiting right there to take it. That's Mayer. Mayer feeds through the neutral zone, spins around, went to get it past Will O'Brien and down the side, but not happening, so they'll spin it right back around with Moker. Moker across the line. Moker tries to dance around, heads down, goes down into the left corner. He'll do it himself. From the sharp angle, it'll get spun back and taken the other way by the Panthers. The wrister coming from just across the line. They'll go back behind the net. Sean Squibb coming on, the freshman for Masuk. They'll play it behind the net again. Colin Raymond on as well. He's a 5'4 sophomore, as this will go down into the Masuk zone. Once again played there. Looked like Will Ferraro, the defenseman, to play it with 6:29 to go. It's a 6-2 game. Puck loose. Another try. And there's your hat trick.
It was turned over originally by Ferraro behind the net. Great vision by Bernbach, seeing Jensen coming on the ice from the change. Made a move in the slot, and he buries it for number 3.
And Frank, great shot by Jensen. He didn't have a ton of space high to the glove side, but he found it.
No, it looked like it might have been in that 6-hole right between the arm and the leg, almost the armpit area. Great shot, like you said.
So across the line come the Eagles again. They now have a 7-1 lead. Jensen with 3.
Martin Bernbach. And number 18, Will O'Brien. That's Jensen from Bernbach and O'Brien.
So Bernbach gets another. And for O'Brien, another point on the afternoon. 5:50 to go. It's a 7-2 lead. Again, played back in the neutral zone, so the Panthers trying to stay alive here. Throw it down into the left corner. Sharp angle from the near side. Again, thrown back and just wide. That came from Cirillo. Going off to the right corner. 5.5 to go. 7-2 our score. Scalia goes back into his own zone, plays it along the left side boards, and they are offside with 5:22 to go. I think that's only our second offside call of the day as well.
I think you're right. There have not been a ton of whistles today.
Overall, they have let him play.
Majority of those whistles coming from 9 goals.
Yeah, exactly. Off the face-off, down the left side, through the left circle in the Trumbull zone, and we get a whistle and a penalty coming here. It is tripping with 5:16 to go.
More penalties in this third period than we've had in the 40 minutes up to now.
This one coming at 9:44. And I believe it's Sam Gutman going off for Trumbull. Off the draw, blasted on net, save made by Will Gutman, comes into the left corner, side of the left circle, that's Bagan. Bagan for Masuk, feeds it down, Denham. Denham gets it back. It is Gutman. 2 for tripping at 9:44. Down to 1:35 remaining on the man advantage. Here's Denham in the left circle, coming over near the side of it. Just stick handling, feeds it across into the right circle, was trying to create a play over to Andros. Andros bounces it off the boards behind the cage of Will Gutman and then redirected all the way down by Jacob Leibowitz. Out to play it is Wise, and then a bad turnover!
Wow.
What was he thinking? That's the play of a freshman right there. Wise will get better, and he's played well at times, but that was a bad turnover.
Yeah, he tried to just sort of poke it along to his defenseman who wasn't expecting it and just got caught from behind. And then, of course, he recovered and made a spectacular save.
And then the hard wrister from Montague and the save made by Will Gutman. 59 remaining on the man advantage, 4:14 to go, 7-2 game.
Will Gutman made that save look matter of fact, but that was a pretty spectacular snag there.
It really was. Face-off will come to his left side. A battle of 11s, Moker and Montague. Through the neutral zone, 4:07 to go. Back here on Wednesday. Interesting game that got even more interesting now. Darien with the win, the shutout win over Greenwich. So Darien and St. Joseph here on Wednesday. Now to the right circle, thrown across, down to 35 remaining on the man advantage. Held in at the left point, and the save made off the right pad of Gutman. Into the left corner it goes. Snagged by Jake Leibowitz. Played back near the left point and bounced off the boards and out of the zone. With a head of steam, grabbing it is Terrio. Goes down the right side, gets rode into the boards. Now he grabs it, goes cross ice. I believe Moker's over there. He wrists it hard, but it goes wide. Goes behind the net, rolls around to the right wing boards. Waiting there is Bagan for Masuk. Down to 5 to go on the penalty, but it looks like time will run out on this power play. 2-1, and it is done with 3:15 to play, and the wrister in the slot goes wide from Bagan. Played back out to center, turned there. Scalia. He'll play a game of cross ice with Andros, and then they'll backhand it down the right side with Denham. The whistle stops things with 3:02 to go.
Guys, that's got to be, if I'm not mistaken, the third or fourth shutout of the year for that Darien team.
That sounds right.
And that's with a new goalie in net.
Well, David Voigt has played well. Off the draw, put on net again, and the save made by Gutman. Even in the one game that Darien did lose, I thought he played well.
He only gave up the 2 goals, was very strong in that game, and they struggled offensively.
2:56 to go here, 7-2 Trumbull. Face off to the left side of Will Gutman, controlled by the Eagles with 2:52 to go. Off into the left corner. Jake Leibowitz plays it back to center, little touch pass there. Will O'Brien had it, got it across the Masuk line, heading down to the right corner, held in by Leibowitz. The big blast, well, he kind of deflected it, and goes down behind the net. Didn't fan on it, but didn't get the greatest shot off. Back out of the zone, it'll be played in neutral zone ice with 2:28 to go, and Trumbull well on their way to win number 4 on the year. That would make them 4-3-2. Along the right side, of course, it's an out-of-conference game, so no FCAC or SWCS-CC records to talk about, as it'll go behind the net again. That's Luke Ferretti, freshman defenseman, wearing number 13. Now they'll spin it and take it back with McCabe. McCabe out of his own zone, gets it ahead. Across the line, there's Brady Jensen with the hat trick, looking for 4. Putting it on net, didn't quite find it. Goes into the right circle, 1:55 to go. Held in at the right point by Leibowitz. Goes behind the net, bouncing. By the way, no hats did hit the ice, just so we're clear on that.
That was disappointing, too.
Rob, that puck took about 3 bounces on the goal line there. We very nearly had an 8-2 game.
to get back to the Darien shutouts, that's their 4th shutout of the year. And in the other 3 games that they won, they only allowed 1 goal in each of those. So in their 7 wins, they've allowed a total of 3 goals. Sorry, Rob.
Face off to the right side of Wise with 1:40 to go as we count it down here in a 7-2 game. Want to thank everybody here. Doug, Howard, Donna, the entire crew here at the Rinks at Shelton, back here on Wednesday. And it was nice to visit this place that is quite a facility if you've never been. And I still have to investigate more parts of it, John.
I think I know where you're thinking, too. And they're heated in the winter.
Yes, it does involve a golf club for sure. Across the line, they bring it back. It's Moker for Trumbull into the right circle. But, you know, batting cages as well. I wouldn't mind swinging a bat.
Star Wars Laker tag upstairs.
There is that. Put on net. Gutman will hold on with 1 minute.
There's a paintball Hogan's Alley down outside.
1 minute.
It's a lot to do here. Let's put it that way. Bowling as well, I believe.
And I'll let Frank and Don know that the driving range booths right now are much warmer than where they are.
That's mean.
59 seconds left, but who's counting?
Cruel, but fair.
Face-off goes to the left of Gutman. You're a cruel, cruel man, John Kovac.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, I was cold in the first period, but then I lost some feeling in my fingers and toes, so now I'm good.
That's pretty much the way it goes. Played through the neutral zone with 48 to go. No complaints, just having some fun. Down the right wing side. Into the Masuk zone it goes in a 7-2 game. Trumbull looking to hold on and get the win. They're up 5. They're in very good shape with only 34 to play. Back behind the net. Bounce it off the boards. And it'll be turned back. Out of the zone by Jensen. Jensen leaves it behind for Leibowitz with 20 to go. Across the line, Jake Leibowitz. He has a goal on the day as well as Wise covers up with 16 to play.
May as well start this debate or pick it up from our friend CTHS Hockey on Twitter. Xavier, Greenwich, and Notre Dame West Haven all lose today. Does Darien leapfrog everybody back up to number 1?
I think so.
I think they have to.
I think so. Down to 13 to go in the 3rd period. Held in at the left point. Now played back to center with 6. Down to 5. The Trumbull Eagles are going to win this one as it rolls into their own zone with 2-1, and this one is over. The Trumbull Eagles, an impressive 7-2 win here over the Masuk Panthers.
And just what a second period to take a 1-1 game and just blow it to oblivion like they did.
And they did blow it to oblivion. Outstanding performance. We will recap all the scoring. See if we can grab you a guest as well before we say farewell from the Rinks at Shelton. The final score, the Trumbull Eagles 7, the Masuk Panthers 2. We'll take a break. We'll come back and put a wrap on it right after this. You're watching the FCAC on the HAN Network.
It's the new year. The to-do list is long and it's easy to feel pulled in many directions at once. Your professional personal shoppers at Walter Stewart's are ready to check groceries off your list by shopping for you. Save extra time this year and spend it doing more important things. Great food and wine delivered to your home with the same-day service. Shop Stewart's online at stewartsmarket.com.
Well, there's still a bite out on the water. Most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
We go down to the ice now and bring in Frank Granito. Frank.
Thank you, Rob. I'm joined by Brady Jensen. Picked up the hat trick tonight. Great win. Brady, what did you guys do well tonight?
I think we did we got it done deep. We got shots on net, which our coach wanted us to do, and we made the right plays coming out of the zone, especially in the 2nd and 3rd period. I think it was a full team effort, good body checks, everything. And most important thing is we came out here with a W, and I think that's the best part.
Your line looked like you guys were really clicking. What's been going well for you guys the past few games?
Well, like you said, we're clicking. We're having a nice breakout. Wingers are doing a great job of getting up the boards to get it out of the zone quickly. And I think that's a big part of our success, considering then we can go right down and get shots on net.
You guys will move back into FCX play now. You sit in the top 8. What do you guys have to keep doing to stay in that playoff race?
We have to keep doing what we do well, which is working hard and playing to our strengths. I think if we can do that, we have a great shot of making FCX and states this year.
Great game, Brady. Congrats again. We'll see you soon. Good luck. Rob, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Frank, and to Brady Jensen as well. And the scary thing, John Kovac, is Brady Jensen. He's an alternate captain, as is Jake Leibowitz. They are both juniors.
Boy, you've got a bright future for hockey, both of these teams. You've got a freshman in net for Masuk. They're both juniors, and their line was just dominant once they turned on the Jets in the second period.
And Gutman, a junior as well, in net. So this is a pretty promising young Trumbull Eagles team. And again, they improve to 4-3-2 on the season. And with all that said, as we will be right back here on Wednesday, you got kind of a final thought for me?
I don't know I've ever seen a game explode like that, to go from 1-1 just all of a sudden the lid pop off it like it did.
And it really did. I mean, it jumped to a whole different level. Recapping the scoring for you, it was Denham starting the scoring as Brian Denham scored at 5:14 of the first. And up until then, Masuk had the better of the play. The assist going to Adam Montague. At 5:14, it was 1-0 right there. Then the Eagles tied it up as Will O'Brien scored off an assist from Jake Leibowitz. That made it 1-1 at 13:40 of the first. That's how we ended the first period. The second period, though, a whole different world. Jake Leibowitz, his second point of the day, gets the goal at 3:16 with the assist from John Terrio. It was 2-1 right there. A few seconds later, at 3:50, it was Eric McCabe scoring, and the assist to Terrio again. It was a 3-1 game at 3:50. At 8:03, along comes Jensen, and the junior forward gets his first of the day with the assist going to Martin Birnbach. It was a 4-1 game. Then, we weren't done yet. At 8:41, in comes Jensen, or rather, this time it's Mayer to get the goal to make it 5-1. Dustin Mayer at 10:46, or rather at 8:41, that made it 5-1. Denham again stops the bleeding at 10:46 to make it 5-2. That was unassisted. To the end of the second period, at 12:19, Jensen one more time. It's 6-2. To the third, Jensen one more time. Now he's got the hat trick. The assists going to Birnbach and Will O'Brien, and it was a 7-2 game and a 7-2 final score. Frank's back up here as well. Frank, very impressive game for sure.
Well, Trumbull looked real good tonight, and I think the biggest thing they have to remember now is moving back into the FCX. This is a wide-open conference. Yes, Darien and Greenwich are ahead above everyone else right now. They're going to be the 1 and 2 seeds, but 3 through 8 are wide open, and if they can put together a performance like tonight, they can make noise and find themselves in Terry Connors for those semifinals and finals come March.
Should be very interesting. Donald Eng has rejoined us as well. Don, your impressions?
Well, my first impression is that as I mentioned earlier, that Masuk's lack of depth really seemed to hurt him. Also, that weird goal that put Trumbull up 2-1 seemed to kind of sap the confidence of freshman goalie Tag Weiss. He kind of collected himself between the second and third periods, but certainly by then the damage had already been done. Also, you had mentioned the future being bright. 14 freshmen and sophomores seeing regular ice time for the Masuk Panthers.
Yep, these are two teams that will have some bright futures. We thank you all. John, I will talk to you soon.
I will talk to you soon, and we'll be back here on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken.
We will be back here on Wednesday. John is absolutely right. We look forward to that. And a very interesting game, Darien and St. Joseph. So that back here on Wednesday as well. And we look forward to that. So please join us for that on Wednesday afternoon. And I believe 6:30 will be your start time. That is the case. With all that said, from the Rinks at Shelton, we say that will do it. The final score, the Trumbull Eagles 7 and the Masuk Panthers 2. A hat trick for Brady Jensen as the Panthers drop to 3-5 and the Eagles improve to 4-3-2. Coffee break will get your day started tomorrow at 11 o'clock. And, of course, Nutmeg Sports comes your way at 2 o'clock as well. And then back here Wednesday, as we mentioned, for Darien and St. Joseph. 6:30 on Wednesday. By the way, Mr. Kovac, Yankee Fisherman, on Thursday.
Big live guest. Big live guest.
A big live guest.
Big live guest.
Ooh, tantalizing. For our entire crew here at the Rinks at Shelton, Marty Hersom, CJ Santiagni, geez, I knew I said it right somewhere along the line. JB Cousins, Nick Fine, Mike Suppy, AJ Simonowski directing, Donald Eng, Frank Granito, John Kovac. I'm Rob Adams. 7-2 the final score. Trumbull beats Masuk from Shelton. Good night, everyone.
The preceding has been a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and entertainment in Fairfield and Westchester counties.